I did have a chance to go up and talk to a couple of the employees who witnessed the shooting this morning. They said it was during shift change right at 7 o'clock, and all of a sudden they heard a pop, pop, pop. She sat on the bench for 20 years. The family tells me that she was crossing this road right here, headed to the restaurant in the distance when the truck hit her, and she ultimately died from those injuries. Brady is calling this a crisis, and it's now starting to get a little bit better as they're going to start admitting patients at 7 o'clock this morning. But when those doors open, some of the elevators won't be working. They're ready for kickoff tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and tickets are still available if you're interested in going. I would love to try it if they would let me on there, but I mean, this is not something you normally see inside of a baseball stadium. Take a look at this ramp behind me. It is huge, as you were just talking about. 15 stories high with 800 tons of manufactured snow. It has 20 flights of stairs and an elevator for the athletes. The whole family and the disco mirror ball guy. Take a look at this outfit.
Oh, man.
Woo! And the kids are loving it. As you can see, he's very popular right here. Justin, I want to show you. You can look right over here and see where the water main broke, and crews are working to fix it right now. They've been working 24/7, but the water is still shut off in this area, and neighbors tell me they are mad.
We need help.
James Mosley carries a bucket of water from the creek in his backyard to his condo.
Walking down here and get water just to flush my commode. And that's, see how I'm sweating? Well, that's the only way. I can't let that commode sit there when we got to use the bathroom.
Nair Davis, another man who lives nearby, is angry he doesn't have water, and no one is telling him when it will be fixed.
Yes, I'm upset because we have a newborn in the house and we need water to boil.
DeKalb County Department of Watershed Management crews are working to repair the 16-inch water main at Longleaf and Peachcrest Road.
We know where the break is and we know how to fix it. The challenge is being to remove pressure from the pipe.
Thurman says the problem is it's an older pipe constructed in 1950, so it's an older system without the proper valves. He tells me they are working to restore water by Sunday morning at daybreak, and they have fresh water on hand if anyone needs any.
I want to apologize to all of our customers who've been negatively impacted.
But James Mosley is still upset.
It don't take this long to fix no water leak. And they not telling us nothing.
Yeah, the neighbors are upset, and as you saw, the CEO of the entire DeKalb County was out here tonight, so he knows just how big of an event this is, and he's hoping that these workers can work through the night and have it restored by tomorrow morning, which will be the 5th day some of these people have been without water because it happened on Christmas Day. Live indicator Lauren Davis, Channel 2 Action News Night Beat. High surf and high tide meant one thing for photographer Jim Grant: grab his camera and go. He was on the scene this morning when the water rushed in, washing one woman off her feet.
This big set started to come in, and so I started to backpedal because I saw this water was coming up over the wall. Everyone started to run. Everybody started to run. I'm running across the street. She's running across the street. She gets about halfway across the street. She just gets taken out by the water, just knocked her feet right out from underneath her.
He was able to capture a couple pictures, then help the woman. When she finally regained her footing, Grant noticed she was injured.
I said, yeah, just so you know, you got a cut on your forehead, you're bleeding also. So she had a cut right under her hairline.
She told him a piece of wood that had washed up from the pier hit her in the head. Several hundred feet of wood ripped off the pier, leaving some pieces dangling off the side. Many people were gathering up pieces of wood as souvenirs. As for the woman who was injured, she walked away from the incident.
So she just kind of got up and then just kind of shook herself off a little bit. She had, one of her shoes got knocked off. She was carrying one of her shoes, and she just said, I'm going home.
It was on this roadway where she says her daughter was trapped inside her vehicle and Sergeant Wilson saved her. She says this Thanksgiving and everyone after, she will say a prayer for Sergeant Wilson and his family because he saved her daughter's life.
I think he's literally saved our life.
It's still hard to believe no one died in the 5-car pileup in September on the 163. That's only because of this man. He stopped on his motorcycle, busted out the window of a car on fire, and pulled the 48-year-old driver Lucilla Ramirez to safety. Then he went back to another car and pried open the jammed door, cut her airbags, and carried Alexandria Garcia to safety.
Said she was flailing and she was panicked. And I think by being there, saving her, taking her out of the car, made her feel safe.
I interviewed Sergeant Wilson after that crash, and he told me he was just doing what he was trained to do.
Doing my job as a Marine. We're here to serve the people.
Then, a week later, he was on his way to work when he came upon another crash involving a motorcycle, and he administered CPR, but unfortunately, he didn't make it. Then Friday, Sergeant Wilson was on his motorcycle on the 15 North when he was hit by a car, slid under a tractor trailer, and was killed. The news hit Garcia hard.
And it's just really sad because I didn't even get a chance to say thank you.
The woman he saved from the car on fire didn't want to go on camera and never had the chance to thank Sergeant Wilson, but said this today. "I'm really grateful for what he did. He's an incredible soul. He's obviously a hero. It's unfortunate the world lost him." The Marines issued this statement saying this is truly the loss of a fine Marine and he will be missed greatly. Now, Sergeant Wilson was originally from Connecticut, but stationed here. He joined the Marines in 2010, and during that time, he won several awards. Very sad story here. Live in Kearney Mesa, Lauren Davis, 10 News. This isn't the way Jamasio Kimball had planned on proposing to his girlfriend, but it's the way it happened. Jamasio, or Jam as they call him, was on the way to propose last Wednesday at church when his car hydroplaned, slid down an embankment, hit this power pole, snapping it in two.
It was nothing but God that saved me.
Trapped inside, Jam remembered his baseball bat in his back floorboard. Normally used for helping his team on the field, this day it saved his life.
I was like, okay, my car can blow up at any time.
So he got out, and while he was in the hospital, stumbled down to one knee and asked his girlfriend of 1 year to be his wife.
Looking at that car, I could have lost my life on the way to ask the love of my life to marry me. While I still have breath and while God still allows me, I want to go ahead and do it.
He gets up out of his wheelchair, and of course I'm like, sit back down, what are you doing? You just got in a car wreck, you don't have to get up. Then I caught on to what was going on when he started to explain everything, and I was like, how blessed am I to just sit here and hear him speak these words.
She said yes, and they hugged each other for several minutes. Jam's baseball coach, friends, and family were all there, and everyone was crying.
She started crying, and I started crying.
In all honesty, I just want to grab him and hold him tight, but I was kind of being very gentle with everything because I knew that he was in a lot of pain, and I didn't want to cause any more pain.
He has determination tattooed on his arm and is now more than ever sure of this determination and knows he is here for a reason and has other plans to fulfill.
It was a really scary night, but the best came out of it.
He may have wrecked, but the proposal was perfect. In Madisonville, Lauren Davis, Local 8 News.